What's going on, everyone? Justin again, and as always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today we're setting up the RGB LED lights. Got them strung out here on the hood, but in case you wanted to know what came in the box, here you go. Huge shout out to RGB LED lights for sending us out these high power lights to go on your rock crawler or Jeep Rubicon. Go ahead and open it up, see what it comes with, and then we got some instructions to read, right? So there's the manual. We're gonna check that out. So they give you plenty of little sticky pads. It looks like there's a sticky pad already for where the on-off switch remote controller would go. Okay, so that's the Bluetooth controller. Here's your actual remote. Gives you a bunch of different settings. We're gonna check that out later. Here is some screws and mounting hardware. I'm not sure how intricate we're gonna get with this, but they also did give you some sticky backs, which I think is the route that we're gonna go. But you can use the hardware as an option if you wanted to bolt it to the inner fender liners, or you can just use a sticky adhesive. All right, that being said, I'm gonna take a moment to myself to go ahead and stretch the LED lights out underneath the vehicle using my creeper. I'm gonna pop the hood open. We're gonna make sure we don't have any further critter damage. I did a little something to underneath the hood area. Not sure if it's gonna work. I'm hoping that it works long-term. But we'll just see what happened throughout the night, because I left it parked where the critters have been jumping in and chewing up some of my wiring. I know, dang critters. But at any rate, I'm gonna get this stuff stretched out. We gotta have to get a couple of eyelets, and we're gonna have to crimp them onto the ends of the wire here so we can set that up to the battery. I'm gonna have to feed it down, stretch them out, and put one on each wheelbase. So I'll show you guys how I'm gonna get that set up. Let's check it out, shall we? I don't see any further damage to anything, which is good. What I picked up was this Tomcat rodent repellent spray from Home Depot. Stuff's kind of expensive. It's like $8 a can. Right, so here's the game plan. They gave you this huge lead off. You got a battery positive, battery ground, an inline 10 amp fuse, and then on this end you have your on-off switch, so you can turn the power on or turn the power off, right? So that way you can use your remote, change and adjust all the settings, and you don't have constant power running through the wire. At least that's my belief. The instructions were pretty vague at that. We're going to find out though. But the way that I want to do this is I need to be able to route it in such a manner to where it looks clean, or looks like it was a factory install. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go underneath the fender liner, hopefully up and right around here where the PDC is. If I can, I'll try to see if I can't get a coat hanger and kind of feed it on up. But I want to come up into this area here, get these two wires attached to the battery. I'm going to be taking off this panel here, and there's this little plastic panel here, and I'll show you in separate video clips. And I want to feed this switch onto the inside of the car, so anytime I can just reach over, push the button to activate, or at least send power through the lines. So then all we got to do is use the remote and adjust the settings the way that we want to. You're gonna have to forgive some of the wind noise today. Look, I've put this video off for about a week fighting this wind, and it seems to be the windiest on the weekend for whatever reason. So bear with me, okay? We're operating off of a cell phone and we're on the fly. The rest of the lead offs, we have plenty of lead offs, so that's not gonna be an issue at all. So I'm gonna toss those in front, get this kind of set up. Let me go get a coat hanger, and then we'll strip the wire back, crimp it on, attach to the battery. We got our cordless tools to take the panel off. It's gonna get fun. Huge shout out today to RGB for sending us the LED lights, and another huge shout out to RGB Co who sent us today's wire nippers, or dikes, however you want to call them, okay? Now I'm gonna feed this coat hanger down. We're gonna tape it to the other end, see if we can't pull our wires through. through. And we do have this controller. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sticky tape off, and we're going to put the adhesive tape against the frame. I'm going to show you that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it right here on the frame. And when we want to download the app to our phone, we can use our QRC scanner and do it right like that. So, perfect, okay? And then we will route the rest of this wire. It has a little detachment here in case you feel like you're gonna get hung up. You don't have to have all these leads everywhere. So we'll detach it from here, and then we'll go through with the rest of the install process later. Supposed to push these, there we go. Okay, cool. Now, we can save this pile for when we're ready. The harness here, PCM. And when you're crimping down, you're going to notice that there's a little slit on the inside of the butt connector. For those that didn't know how to do this, you want that pointed towards that crescent moon shaped side, and you want the actual detent maker on the opposite side. That's what we got going on here. All I did was route the positive end all the way around, tucked it underneath the insulation, and attached it to a 10mm nut that looks just like this one. And now with the ground one, I'll at least show you this one. It's not a big deal. You guys should be able to do all this. Just going to attach it in like so. There you go. Ain't got to go crazy tight. Got it all zip tied now. Now we have this other end of the lead here. I'm just going to tuck it down alongside the base of the battery. And we do have this piece of foam here, which is perfect, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to feed this through underneath this foam, like so. And now I'd love to just be able to keep going, but we have to take the panel off. So these are T40s. So you do want a Torx bit or star bit. Some people call them star bits. I call them what they are. It's a Torx bit. Crack it loose. Make sure the other one's nice and cracked loose. Put these up on top of the cowl so we don't lose them. This plate should just come right off. Oh, nope, two more up here. Off, set it on top, and now you can see what we got going on here, right? So now we can take this part and start running it through. Do we have enough slack is going to be my next question. I believe we will. Let's find out. There we go. So I just kind of wedged it through and tucked it underneath this hose to kind of hold it in place. Feel like we should still be able to slide this piece back in. Like so. This is probably the most important part of the whole thing is what I'm thinking. How to tuck it in and make it look good. All right, so the inside struggle is real. But if we go to close the door, it's perfect almost, because you have this weather strip that kind of goes around, so you don't have to worry about it cutting or pinching the cord. So when we go to close the door, all that's going to happen is it's going to softly push against it with this foam. So that's fine. Now we could stick it here to the leather, so that way it could just be pushed. We could go underneath like so, which is what I was kind of thinking. That way the passenger can just push the button here. I think that's probably our best bet. But for any reason, if we needed to take this off, we'd have to replace this sticky tape. I think I like it here, kind of on the handle, because I can almost kind of tuck it in and have it there. And I think that would look really good. So I'm just going to take this piece of napkin, make sure all the dirt's dusted off for the most part. Remove our little piece of adhesive tape backing and put it right there. All right, now you guys remember that other wire that we had that we disconnected earlier? I just draped it over the differential, so I actually have it right here. And we're gonna have to plug that back in, but the idea was to, once I get it plugged in, is to zip tie it to the other wiring harness here that's going to the diff. So let me get our leads spread out here. This one's gonna have to come up and over. Go ahead and get this thing plugged back in. There we go. What I'm thinking is maybe see if we should be okay anywhere in here, really. Or we go further up. And we go underneath these brake lines and go like that. That would look pretty cool, I think. Got me a little microfiber here. I put a little glass cleaner on it. Okay. Now this might be a dual purpose. Well, their purpose might have been to put the adhesive tape like so, because they do give you a couple of little holes. They put a couple of little hole punches here so that way you can put the hardware through, but I'm not drilling the hardware into the frame, and I don't want these on the fender liners because I'm going to end up changing those out. So that's why we're going this route. And stick you right there. Got this huge long lead off and all these other leads. Got our one tucked back. We want this other one, and we're going to try to keep these together. So I'm going to go this way. Like this. All right. Yeah. We can go here on the back, and that would look kind of cool. Zip ties, wire cutters. Let's assess the situation. Okay. Nothing's touching the exhaust, going all the way back, so that's good. Coming forward. Now we get into some weird stuff here, because now we're close to the exhaust, but there is a harness with a couple of preset holes in it, which is going to be really cool for us right now. Let's just start with how I routed it. So we routed it through and above. And I stuck one here to the inner frame above the right axle next to the spring. we zip tied and taped certain spots onto the bracket where the brake lines go through. I then wrapped, and then I kind of put a piece of tape through this loop to kind of hold things kind of away from the upper control arm. Put it behind the heat shield. Found a factory little tie-in, tied them up there, came through. Unfortunately, this one wire had to come underneath to go to the right rear. I didn't do anything special with it. Routed it over, up, above the drive shaft, out of the way so it doesn't get ripped out, and then over here, and then taped it along the frame. And I'm like, dope. But then I realized that's where my driver's door is. It does not reach all the way back to here. I didn't have enough length for how I wanted it set up. Now on this side, the one that we stuck here towards the rear, just in front of the rear tire, is right by that rear door. So one side worked out well for us. One side did not. Over here, I stuck the other one above the right axle, above the spring. So look, there was no instructions inside the box to tell you how to route it. Pretty sure you could stick them wherever you wanted to. I kind of wanted one like just in front of the rear tires and just above each one of the axles in the front. That's not what we got. There wasn't enough lead off. I couldn't just cut through and solder in extra wire to get longer lead off, because there's 3 contact points followed by some insulated wire, which means there could very well be 3 small wires through it. That's the thought process, and I found out that that is exactly how it's set up, because I was like, okay, no big deal. I'll take the one from the rear. This tape couldn't have been stuck there that hard, you know what I mean? I just put it on. And so I took a screwdriver, tried to pop it off, and I popped the cover of the light off, and you can see the 3 little wires going through. And I was like, yeah, that ain't happening. That tape's actually pretty damn strong. So for that, we're gonna give it 2 thumbs up and just move forward. So at this point, I guess I'll have light where my door is on the driver's side, and the kids will have light on the other side towards the rear. It might look goofy as crap. We'll find out at night, but let's just run with it, right? All right, so I don't know if I have to actually have the vehicle running in order for the lights to work. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and start the Jeep up. I'm going to push the little button here that we have set up on our handle, and then we should be good to go, and I should be able to use the remote to turn them on, off, etc. They give you a few different settings here as far as their color options go. We got red, green, blue, white, orange, yellow, a green, a purple. They got a couple other settings here too. It says jump 3, jump 7, fade 3, fade 7. And then you have musical settings too. So I guess while you're listening to music, you might have some different variations of light. This is going to be really hard to see during the day, but I am going to get a day shot just to see if everything's working properly going into night, because I don't want to be underneath the Jeep trying to figure out what went wrong during the nighttime. So we're going to give it a dry run during the daytime. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up. All right, so let's go ahead and push our little button, see if that did anything for us. Let's go outside and take a look. Oh, that's cool. You can see above one axle, it's set up in almost like a purplish kind of color. Let's see. There's red. Alright, let's try blue. Whoa. That looks pretty cool. Yellow. Let's go back to this purple. I kind of like that purple. Alright, let's see what this music one does. Here's music 4 in purple. Whoa! Whoa! What is going on here? 3, 2, 1. So different speeds. All right, let's jump. Okay. There's another jump. Let's go to this fade 3. Oh, that's kind of trippy. Fade 7. All right, let's go through a little faster pace. All right, so check it out. This was the 4 LED light system. They're also available in 6 as well as 8. So if you want more lights in more places, be sure to get those upgraded kits. I'll put the product link down below in the description for you. This video has already been long enough for the entire install process, so I'm not going to drag it out any longer. I'm going to carry on with a second video upload showing you what these LED lights look like at night, and then give you my final thoughts and opinions as far as how I think they look so far. I'm very excited about this. The one thing I wasn't excited about was the actual placement due to the lead off that I had with these leads, okay? But that might have been a routing issue, okay? User error on my part. Maybe I should have routed it differently and more closer to the battery and not have gone so far forward as I did. So that was a fault of my own, not from the company. But if you are interested in having multiple lights, look, check out the product link down below. Like I said, doing how-to videos is by far one of the hardest styles of videos that I've ever had to do, because there's just so much information, crucial points of interest that everyone wants to see specifically. So if you like today's content and the install process, be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Don't forget, you can download the Lotus Lantern app with that QRC reader on the controller, okay? So when you see that wireless controller that we mounted to the side of the frame, scan that bad boy onto your phone. Super easy to use. Allow it to hit sync with your Bluetooth. Allow it to sync with your iTunes music library. So when you're playing music, it jams to the beat. All right, that's all I got for this video, guys. Look, thanks always for watching my channel. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers and deuces. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today's special guest star is Sophia, and Sophia has presented the Hot Sauce Challenge. I told her I was thinking about doing this with some other subscribers and told her about this super duper hot sauce that we picked up last off-roading event. And since this is an off-road how-to video on how to install RGB LED lights, she said, I'll take that challenge. She goes, you gonna do it with me? And I said, I'm not really good at the hot sauce, but I'll take that challenge. If a 10-year-old can do it, I'm gonna do it. So we are presented with the Hot Sauce Challenge today. Just wanna give this meal?
It smells like Tapatio.
It does smell like Tapatio.
Or like a taco sauce.
Or Taco Bell. Okay, well, I don't know. This might not be that bad. Let's see. Should we let the child go first? Let's let her go first. You want to put it on?
Yeah.
That way you know how much you're putting on? Put it towards the edge where you're going to bite. Oh. Okay. You want to do it at the same time?
I'll go.
You want to go first? Okay.
I'm going to try to do no reaction.
No reaction? Go for it. I'm so sorry. Just as we were trying to get a no reaction, Mother cranks up the music. So this might just be an IG post.
I'm going to do this one with you.
Okay, so this is not going out very well. But she hasn't had any reaction to it. You might get more of a reaction out of me than you will her.
I want to do it.
We have another child of interest. Mother of God. All right. Should we just start over? No, go ahead. All right. Game face. All right, so here we go. Ain't a thing.
What time is it?
This is a knock your sockies off hot sauce. I'm gonna prepare my drink because I don't know about this. I poured a fair amount on there, all right? Your mother with the distractions. Okay, ready?
Oh, Mom's doing it.
Mom's gonna do it too?
Why not?
Okay, well, all right, we're gonna get the whole, look what we done started. All right, ready? And go.
That's hot sauce?
Hang on. It creeps up after you get the chip down.
My chip is down. I ain't feeling no creeping.
Same.
I had a bite.
This is some mild chip. Look at him. He's the only one making faces here. Pussy. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this friendly kids language?
Yeah, it was supposed to be somewhat family friendly.
Sissy,
Okay.
do you have any? You're gonna give yourself an ulcer.
And you're gonna end up pooing blood.
No, I'm not.
It'll come out like a lava dragon.
Do you have anything hotter?
Today's video sponsorship is brought to you by Coors Light. Look, that's all we got, alright? My palate is not a... They eat spicy Cheetos all the time. I'm out of practice. Alright.
Old man.
Well, that's our family, well, not really it was a family tasting.
Yeah.
Hot sauce, scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna say
2.
it had a
Like a 2. A 0? No, it's a
Two.
1. It's a 1.
2, 2, 1. I will say this. I would put it not as hot as Tapatio, and it has a little bit more kick than Cholula, and that's kind of my palate as far as how spicy I'm willing to go. Even Tapatio, that stuff gets me sweating pretty good. This, it had a kick. I can kind of feel it a little under my eyes, but it's not as bad as Tapatio. This I could probably use for a full, like a half a dozen to a dozen taquitos and probably be fine, but as long as I have my Coors Light, I think I'll be just fine.
You know you're not getting paid for that, right?
All right, thanks kids. Thanks family. Deuces.